Mabuhay mga katurismo! Welcome to Daraga, Albay!
Today, we will visit the three famous heritage sites here in Daraga, Albay: the Cagsawa Ruins, the National Bicol Museum, and the Daraga Church. So come on, let us get to know them. Our first stop takes us to the iconic Cagsawa Ruins.
The Cagsawa ruins, sometimes spelled as Cagsawa, are remnants of a historic Franciscan church from 16th century located in the Barangay Busay in the municipality of Daraga, in the Bicol region within the Republic of the Philippines. Cagsawa ruins was declared by the National Museum as a national cultural treasure, the country's highest designation for a cultural property.
The ruins were part of the once thriving town of Cagsawa that was followed by not-so-fortunate destiny. As a matter of fact, the town was originally built in 1587, but in 1636, it was burned down and destroyed by the Dutch pirates that were roaming in the area. After a while, in 1724, the Cagsawa was rebuilt by Father Francisco Ilango, but the destiny played a bit more with a small town, and once again, the Cagsawa was destroyed. However, this time it is because of the eruption of the Mayon volcano that occurred on February 1, 1840.
Some 1,200 people sought refuge in the stone-built church. Nonetheless, as the eruption was the strongest ever recorded for the Mayon volcano, it killed most of the locals in the vicinity. Those that survived this quite powerful volcanic blast resettled nearby, as they considered this to be their home, to which they are used to.
Still, from that period, the belfry of the church is all that remains. Even though the church facade survived the eruption and collapsed over time. And nowadays, together with the rest of the buried and destroyed town, it is in the memory of all that remember that Cagsawa once existed.
Due to the cultural importance the ruins have, Cagsawa ruins are one of the most popular tourist attractions in the province as well as in the nations, which is why they are protected in a park which is overseen by the municipal government of Daraga.
Our next stop is the National Bicol Museum.
The National Museum, or NMP, in Bicol is located at beside Daraga, Albay, just next to Cagsawa Church ruins.
The NMP completed a 2-year rehabilitation and upgrading of its museum in Daraga, Albay in 2019. The 1992 National Museum Cagsawa branch building was damaged during the 2006 Typhoon Reming, prompting the transfer of the museum site and its geological, botanical, and archaeological exhibitions to Tabaco City from 2008 to 2018.
The NMP Bicol is one of the 18 NMP-run museums outside the National Capital Region.
On June 9, 2023, NMP Bicol temporarily closed its indoor and outdoor exhibitions due to the unrest of Mayon volcano. And after almost 2 months of closure, the National Museum of the Philippines, Bicol, reopens its doors to the public last August 2023 and is now available to local and foreign tourists visiting Albay to experience the Natural History Museum with indoor and outdoor exhibitions about the natural heritage of Bicol.
So, what can you see in the newly opened National Museum in Bicol?
The indoor display, Bicolandia Land of Volcanoes, include 4 permanent galleries with artistic collections of botanicals, zoologicals, and geological specimens that represents the region's natural history.
It features important geological structures from the active volcano Mount Mayon, landforms, fossils, rocks, plants, and animals. The exhibit showcases the local volcanoes, so visitors and children can learn more about how these lava mountains were created.
On the other hand, the outdoor exhibition features a rock garden of volcanic rocks, a butterfly garden, and a nursery of endemic plants and vehicle, and also a stargazing viewing deck at night with an alternative view of the Mayon volcano.
With the butterfly garden's propagation operations, the visitor's appreciation of nature will undoubtedly be deeper. The NMP holds dear the history of its museum in the Bicol region, which is a place of resilient peoples who have been for centuries withstanding the eruptions of Mayon, the most active volcano in the Philippines, and surviving the effects of typhoons that pass by it year-round. Our last destination is the Daraga Church.
Our Lady of the Late Paris Church is a Roman Catholic church here in Daraga, Albay. It is one of the most visited churches here in Albay. It is located on a hilltop with a commanding view of the Mayon volcano. The Daraga Church, as it is popularly known, began to be built in 1773 after the people of Cagsawa were allowed to transfer their town center to avoid the disasters brought by the eruption of Mount Mayon and the flooding of the Yawa River. However, it was only in 1815 that the transfer was fully materialized, 1 year after the volcanic eruption that destroyed the old Cagsawa.
Daraga Church is a rare and outstanding example of Churrigueras style in the Philippines, developed at the height of Spanish Baroque from the late 17th to the early 18th century. Churrigueras style is often described as Baroque on steroids because of its florid and detailed ornamentation.
This is reflected in Daraga Church with the use of Solomonic or twisted columns, floral motifs, various biblical emblems, and even local geometric motifs that add the Bicolano touch to the dialogue of artistic traditions. Although this style was popular in Mexico, it was introduced rather late in the Philippines, which explains its rarity in Philippine architecture.
The idea behind the unique design of Daraga Church is in its representation as the gateway to heaven and refuge of salvation, perhaps owing to the catastrophes experienced by the locals in Cagsawa.
This idea is conveyed in many ways, as for example the use of Our Lady of the Gate of Heaven as patroness, the retablo-style facade that emphasizes heaven as a communion of saints, and the use of floral motifs in reference to the Garden of Eden. The use of Solomonic columns also connects the church to the Temple of Solomon because of the long-standing belief that those columns were used in this temple, which was similarly built to represent the Garden of Eden.
Acknowledging its architectural and cultural significance, the Daraga Church was also declared as Natural Cultural Treasure in 2007. This title shows how important the church is for its architecture and culture. It helps keep its history alive for the future. The Daraga Church is not just a building, it represents the strong spirit of the Filipino people and their faith, especially during tough times. When people see the church, they feel amazed and respectful because of its beauty and what it stands for.
That's it for our travel today. Until next time mga katurismo.